Nail in the coffin. Miami Dolphins lose 28-15 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That means the Miami Dolphins are not going back to the playoffs this year. That means for the 25th straight season, Miami will not win a playoff game. What does this loss mean? We will dive deep into it because there's got to be some changes made. I am Dan Day along with Chico City. Chico City, born and raised in Miami.
Yes, sir.
What part of Miami?
Little Havana, Alapata. Shout out to my grandma. She's tuned in right now.
How are you feeling right now as a lifelong Miamian? And of course, you lived around the country, but has this team just made you just desolate?
Years ago.
When did you give up?
I was like 10 years old, maybe 10 years old. This has been going on since the beginning of my life, Dan. The Dolphins, they set you up. They make you believe. They make you go all the way. You buy the jersey. You consider buying season tickets. Tua's going to do it. And then you have nights like tonight, Dan.
Chico City, you are not the only Miamian to tell me this. And you know what? I'm starting to become like a lot of you guys.
Masochist?
Coming into the game, we just talked to Alejandro Solana. Coming into the game, Tua never wins in cold weather, much less in prime time. Much less anytime the temperature dips, the Dolphins can't win. Aaron Rodgers is unbelievable in the cold weather, has some of his best games. Mike Tomlin never lost at home on a Monday Night Football game. Steelers haven't lost on Monday Night Football since 1991 or 92, something like that.
Tupac was still alive.
And I did like some Dolphins fans do. Tonight's the night. We're going to change the narrative. And Chico City walks in and says, don't do this to yourself.
Yeah, man.
And I said, no, you'll see.
The other shoe will fall.
They do exactly what the Dolphins do. They start terrible, they give you hope, and then they let you down again.
Just to compare this to baseball, Dan, I'm starting to feel like the Cubs back in the 90s, feeling cursed.
I mean, and the way the Dolphins did it is the way the Dolphins have done it all year long. Tua, with this year, has had a noodle arm, once again throwing more interceptions than anybody in the league, goes out there, throws an interception to Asante Samuel Jr., and no offense at all in the first. You get that one field goal half, then you come out, and this is how the second half started. 2 drives by the Pittsburgh Steelers for touchdowns, 2 3-and-outs for the Miami Dolphins, once again showing Mike McDaniel, not the king of halftime adjustments. 305-567-0560. We want to hear from you. We're going to be here till 1 o'clock, maybe longer. This is therapy. We need help. The Dolphins, once again, had every reason to believe they weren't going to find a way to win the game, and we still believe they would find a way to win the game. And let's be honest, Tua was not good tonight, especially the first 3 quarters. The fourth quarter, defense softened up a little bit. Tua throws it to the other team. 305-567-0560. Let's go to the phone lines. 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead.
Speechless. They were speechless, Dan.
They hung up on us. 305-567-0560 is the number to call if you would like to get in. This was a disappointing game for the Miami Dolphins. They could have kept the win streak going. TJ Watt not playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers because of that dry needling incident where he punctured his lung. Looked like they didn't even need TJ Watt tonight. One of the best defenders in the game. 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines. 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jackson, calling from South Carolina.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Yeah, this is just really disappointing by this team. But hey, you can't even blame this on the weather, man. Tua, what he does when he gets the ball and nobody's wide open, right? He throws a pick, and that's really disappointing too. But hey, man, the season's over. Let's reset, okay? Let's try to get a good draft pick. Let's try to get a tall wide receiver to replace Tyreek Hill, because this is depressing, dude. Because I sit through these games, man. I'm a season ticket holder. I fly down the games, and this is just
I hear you, Jackson. It's not easy right now being a Dolphins fan. And what does this future of this team look like? Tua Tagovailoa has not looked like a world beater. You might have to start looking at other options, although you owe him $50 million a year. The market is the market. Well, the standard is the standard, Tua, and you did not live up to the standard tonight when we needed you. Mike McDaniel continues to not make great adjustments at halftime, a la saw what Mike Tomlin did. The other Mike sure did the whole lot of adjustments. Aaron Rodgers, even though he's an old man, and you even heard the microphones were fantastic tonight, Chico. We caught a lot of nasty words, but Aaron Rodgers was old man, and he got called old man a couple of times. He was joking around a lot. He was having fun out there. This team makes no adjustments. That's a problem, Mike McDaniel. And your quarterback, this year at least, has not looked very good. Cannot throw the ball. And by the way, holds the ball forever. Chico, he just held the ball, got sacked, couldn't get away from anybody.
Just throw it away.
He can't throw it away. It's very simple.
You had a guy that was covered down the line. I don't remember what play it was because it happened so many times. He was down the line. Just throw it over his head. Just get rid of the ball. And also, Jackson, the kid that called in right now, he was so optimistic. You hear him. We got to get together. We got to stay positive. And that's how they get you, Dan. At that age, they get you. They make you believe, and then they just break your heart over and over.
How are you feeling right now? 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines. 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Dominique from Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, Dominique. How's it going?
Man, listen. Tua is a fucking Hawaiian roll. I'm so sick of fucking Tua and these pick six punts throwing away the ball. I'm just sick of this shit, man.
It's just tough, man. It is tough. And a lot of people are echoing sentiments like he is right there for the Dolphins. It's one of those things. Tough times, frustrating times. I was frustrated. Tua, look, you got to learn to throw the ball away. Tua, I can't make you more mobile. You are not very mobile. Your decision-making has actually gone down. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Cade. I'm calling from Boston.
Go ahead, Cade. What's on your mind?
Hey, man. So I called in a few weeks ago after the Commanders game. We had a nice talk, bro. But all I got to say is I'm from Boston. I grew up here. I watched the Brady dynasty. I've never seen a playoff win. Something needs to change. And if anyone in the Dolphins organization watched a minute of that game from the minute it started to the minute it ended, and we pay Tua $53 million a year, they need to get their head examined. He is by far the worst starting quarterback in the NFL, and I am a Tua supporter. He's laughing, he's smiling, he's telling us, oh, I'm making all this money, I get to go see my kids, which is great. But as me, as someone who is now 23 years old, that has never seen a playoff win, I am growing more and more frustrated with this gosh darn franchise. I can't do it.
Brother. You are not alone.
I agree with you. It's frustrating. It's frustrating what they do. And look, I don't know what the answer is in the future. I don't know if you got to cut ties. Look, the Denver Broncos cut ties with Danger Russell Wilson. Seem to work out pretty good for them right now. Dolphins?
Was just gonna say that. I mean, I definitely don't think it's impossible at this point. I mean, they did it with Russ. Look how it's working out for them. But it's going to be the hurdle of the Dolphins in their marketing team. I know it sounds stupid, but he's one of our highest marketable players and blah, 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 and all the jersey sales. Mm-hmm. It's like our ownership cares more about money than they care about winning. And I've realized that over my 20 years of just fandom. Like, I am the biggest Dolphins fan you will ever talk to on this thing. I follow them so much. They care more about money and selling season tickets and this. And guess what? There is no more season tickets that they're going to sell. Zero. If they re-sign him, or not re-sign him, but, recommit to him and they trot him out next year, I promise you there is going to be nobody showing up to the games next year. I am all set. I'm not traveling to see him next year if he's playing. It's just how it is, man. So, I mean, go Dolphins. I'm still a fan. I always will be, but I am absolutely PO'd right now. So.
Are you out on Tua and Mike McDaniel, or do you still think Mike McDaniel has some redeeming qualities?
Yep. Give him a chance, man. Give Mike McDaniel a chance with another quarterback that can throw the ball 10 yards down the field or more. Like, I can't watch the swing passes, and I really want to believe that Mike McDaniel's handcuffed. He was told when he came here, just fix him. Like Brian Flores broke him, fix him. And he fixed them, and I think he's a good coach, and he wins games, and they've been to the playoffs more times in my life with him than anyone else. But, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, he's terrible. He's trying his best.
Right. the gloves are off with Tua now. Remember how they didn't want to hurt his feelings and stuff like that? Well, when he got that big paycheck, that's out the window. We need to have competition at least, if not something else at the quarterback position. And you know what? If he sucks, he sucks. Tell him he sucks, Mike McDaniel.
I think that's what's happening now on social media. Not to keep you, I know you got people on the phone, but this is like one of the first games that I can say, like on Dolphins social media, especially, like there's nobody, like, what do you defend at this point?
No,
like I was a huge dude. I can't, what do I defend? He looks horrible in every single primetime game we play. He looks horrible in the winter, in the cold. Like he's a great guy. He's a man of faith. He's awesome. He's great in the community. He is a terrible NFL quarterback. He's just not good.
This year, he has not been good. I'll give you that. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Sean from New Jersey. How are you guys?
Sean, I've done better, man. But
Stressing. We are
what's going on, Sean?
I think it's time to move on.
Agreed.
If that makes right. You get it? Get the thing there. Time to move on. I think it's time to put
I see what you
maybe
did
Ewers in. Yeah, see what I did there, guys?
Time to move on.
So
yeah,
you're thinking
and
now look to the future. What's the point of playing this season out? We're not going to the playoffs. Let's see what we got in Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, I think it's time to see. I've been a Tua supporter. He's been disappointing. I agree with what Omar's been saying, that something's changed this year. I mean, he's regressed. And I don't know, I think you got a guy you're paying all this money to.
Sean, I like that you bring that up, because when you say he's regressed, I was going to go back and say this. Well, what if he's just having some hip issues and a thumb issue, and he's physically not that good this year, but he gets healthy for next year? The problem is, though, I don't have problems with that as much as his decision-making, him holding onto the ball, him throwing it to the other team, the way he can't move. Those are things you can't change. So there's some deep problems there with Tua. There's deep problems there. So, Sean,
absolutely. Look at that interception before you go. Look at that interception tonight. Throws in a double coverage. And now let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that was a Tua problem, or do you think that was a McDaniel stupid play call? Because I think in that play, you only had two receivers going out. You needed somebody to keep to be short to stop the double coverage, but I don't know. I think it's kind of both, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both right there. But all I know is a 40-some-odd-year-old man, Aaron Rodgers, I think he completed 85% of his passes tonight and looked like he was on a vacation right down here in South Florida, even though he was in the freezing weather in Pittsburgh. Wow.
In his element.
305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Take a holiday cookie.
Go ahead. Hey, what's up, man?
Hola.
Dumbass.
What are you mad at Tua, or are you mad at yourself?
What's
going on?
Dan. He's kind of
Are you okay? Man, this guy's hurting right there. Look, the Dolphins lost. I know it was a ugly loss too. At one point, they were down 28-3. They kind of made a comeback, but not so much. Still want to hear from you, though. How are you feeling on this night with the Dolphins once again eliminated from the playoffs by the Pittsburgh Steelers? 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines. 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? My name's Eddie. I'm calling from Nashville.
Eddie, I am not doing too great, but I'm glad to hear from you.
Hey, that makes two of us. But I think there's a lot of things wrong with the Dolphins. It's like, first of all, I see a big difference. I think McDaniels and also Tua, it might be time for them to go. You know, I love them. I wish the best for them. But today was the best thing that could happen for the Dolphins in this loss, because you saw the contrast. Forget the weather. Everybody knows about the weather. But I saw a field general in Aaron Rodgers. He goes to the line. He's calling audible. He's calling the blocks. He's seeing the defense. And Tua doesn't do that. He just lines up. 1, 2, 3, hut, throws the ball. And that's a problem. But I don't think it's Tua. I think that's McDaniels, because it takes so long for the plays to come in. You don't have time to diagnose the defense. All you have time for is to say hut. And that's a problem. That's a coach problem.
Yeah, there doesn't always seem to be a lot of wiggle room in there, a lot of, what would you call it, improvisation. And yeah, it really does seem like – and now, look, I'll tell you what they did with Sean Payton and Drew Brees in New Orleans, what they did with Dan Marino here, with Don Shula, what they do with Aaron Rodgers and the Mike Tomlin is they call a play, but it's a loose play that the quarterback kind of can call in and out of because they trust their quarterback and they trust that they can read a defense.
Yes, but in the Mike McDaniel era, you're lucky to get a play call in time.
Right.
You know, let alone read and diagnose the defense. So I think that's got something to do with McDaniels, the cold weather, all that. It's just a problem. It's not going good. Tua just doesn't show up in the big games, and it hurts me because I like Tua. I wanted to believe in Tua. I wanted Herbert, but I said, we got Tua. I'm a Dolphins fan. Let's believe in him. Let's push. But he doesn't show up in the big games. And especially like when everybody's watching, if it gets cold Monday night, Sunday night, playoff, you call it. He does not show up. And
I mean, that third quarter was abysmal. Negative 20
negative
yards.
20. Negative 20. Come on. That's coaching too. That's coach.
And you knew, just like the Steelers, it was their game plan. Not their game plan, but like, we got to get a score right before the half. We get the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
We can, really, bury them. And then sure enough, what do they do? What good teams do. They come out of the half. They score. They go 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. The Dolphins go 2 3 and outs. That was the third quarter to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I saw it start in the middle of the second quarter because I saw that they adjusted.
Oh, man.
When I saw them starting to make plays in the middle of that second quarter, I was like, oh, we're done.
This is my thing.
They've adjusted.
My big fears for this Dolphins team, or what drives me crazy and keeps me up at night, and it does keep me up at night, but the 2 things is Tua, how, yes, physically he's obviously not as gifted this year, but he's mentally making really bad mistakes, holding onto the ball, throwing it to the other team, and Mike McDaniel with the adjustments. It is glaring that he gets out-coached and out-adjusted every single game, even the ones they win.
Every time. You know what Tua needs to do? He needs to chill, take off the summertime, go back in the yacht, drink a couple of brewskis, just chill in the yacht.
No, he's got to lay off the brewskis. He's got to lose a couple pounds here.
But that's what he was doing this summer. I don't know if you saw he was in the yacht. He should have been in the gym.
Yeah.
That's why I don't feel bad for him. Because he was on the yacht. If he likes being in the yacht, he needs to go back to the yacht and chill. If you want to go to the gym, you want to play football for an NFL league, you got to get in the gym.
That's the Miami effect. That's that Miami effect, Dan.
Right there. Hey, you know what? He's not the only Dolphins fan saying that. Let's take one more phone call before we go to break. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dan, how you doing?
I thought I was going to be partying tonight, but I'm a little sad.
Dan, it's Steve from Sunrise. Let me tell you, remember I've called you every time. I'm the guy that said, don't get excited, stay the course, please. These wins, we need to stay the course. It had to be a losing season. Remember that was me. Steve. And you got excited about the winning culture and others. This is what you get.
I don't listen.
A middle of the road draft pick now, buddy. A middle of the road draft pick. And what should have been done, nobody's tough enough to do. We should have blew up this team, fired everybody, and put an intern coach in. They didn't do it, and now it's the same old Dolphins. And this is what Dolphin fans deserve. And by the way, Patrick Mahomes apologized for the first losing season. Apologized. It killed them. Does it look like it kills the Dolphins? I mean, Dolphin fans deserve this. It's the way it is. It's been the same way day and day, right? The same way every year. Am I right?
Steve, you tell me every year on this postgame show, stop getting excited. They're going to let you down. They're going to give you a little bit of hope. And I always go, no, Steve, things have changed. We're going to be okay. And you're right every single year, it seems like.
Yeah, what it comes down to is games like this. It's just when the Dolphins get punched in the mouth, when they can't do what they normally do, they just don't know what to do. So you had the running back, HN could not run, right, because they were catching on. And now all of a sudden they had to throw the ball, and look what happened. They're just a bunch of tricks. They're not a power team. They're just McDaniel's a bunch of trickery magician. They have to get rid of this team and start again. Are you going to be talking about the 72 Dolphins for the rest of your life, buddy? Have a good night.
Thank you very much, Steve. We appreciate that. He's not the only one in Dolphins Nation saying these things. Look, they got a new general manager coming in one way, shape, or form. I think that's a good start. I think that this organization, it's more than just Tua, more than just Mike McDaniel. It's an organizational issue. I've told you they've been soft for a long time organizationally. Maybe they can get some toughness there. A lot of things hopefully change after the general manager comes in and toughens up this organization and gets his people or her people in there to be tough. After what I saw from Tua tonight, after what I've seen from Tua this season, if he does not get better, I'm talking about physically, mentally, emotionally, decision-wise, Something's going to have to get done. And Mike McDaniel, the adjustment thing scares me. Does that mean totally just blow it up? Maybe. Can you salvage some things? Maybe. One thing I do know, the Dolphins are not going to the playoffs yet again for the 25th straight year. We're saying this, Chico. We'll get them next year.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Chico's lived in Miami too long. He's Cuban. He's from Miami.
I'm tainted. I've been around since Marino, Pennington, name it. Throw a quarterback my way so I could laugh and smile at this guy. Because I wish you were right.
305-567-0560. We're going to take a quick break. Come back, hear from you. This is Game Day Uncensored postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM. kind of had an epiphany after tonight. I've been burnt enough. For the past 3 years, I've come on and I said, this is the year they change the narrative. This is the year they get one cold win game. This is the year that Tua goes in and against another top quarterback will win a head-to-head matchup in a cold weather game against a winning team. Every year for 3 years, every cold weather game for 3 years, I said, this has to be it. This has to be it. Well, I've had an epiphany. Chico City is with me. I am day and day. Until they do that, I am not saying this is the game or this is the year where the Dolphins change the narrative. I've been burnt too many times. Next cold weather game they have, the Dolphins are losing.
Listen, apparently losing is part of the Dolphins fan culture. Okay, if you don't lose every now and then, are you really a Dolphins fan?
Oh, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not going to go in and say this is the night. Even Scott Van Pelt, right before, everybody predicted on the panel for ESPN. Everybody predicted Pittsburgh to win. And Scott Van Pelt goes, I got the Dolphins winning. And they looked at him and goes, just because. And I was like, yeah, somebody's got to be right. But no. And this is another thing. Tua is not catching any bail from anybody. If you want to speak up for Tua and his performance tonight and his performance this year, I want to hear from you. 305-567-0560. The chat, YouTube, and Twitch, they're going after Tua. Phone callers all night going after Tua. And you know what? They have that right to do that.
Can I explain in a different terminology of what it's like to be a Dolphins fan for real, for real? So it's a toxic relationship, Dan. You ever have that toxic relationship that's just no good for you? You just can't leave it, but somehow the phone calls and the baby, I'm sorry, please, just get to you. And every year you're like, I love this person. I love them. And somehow you end up where we are right now.
305-567-0560, 1043 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo.
Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to hear from you.
Awesome, man. This is Travis calling from Broward, man.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, I just got to say, guys, man, I've been a fan since Pro Player Stadium. I've been following these guys since Jay Steeler, since I've been a little kid, man. I mean, I love the Dolphins. But after tonight, I don't need no excuses about defense, no excuses about personnel, no excuses about nothing. This is all on Mike McDaniels and Tua. I watched Tua float the ball and embarrass us for too many plays. I'm done with him. McDaniels, he's a pretty good offensive coordinator. But when it comes to leading your football team and making simple decisions, I watch guys like freaking Dave Weinstead make better personnel decisions with time management and player personnel. So, like, I'm over with it. I'm 36 years old. I'm done. Done.
Did you see the time management at the end of the game when they were, quote unquote, trying to come back? Guys weren't getting out of bounds. And even Troy Aikman on TV was like, they have no sense of urgency. I mean, like, do they realize they're down by
about that? That's embarrassing as a fan to sit here and watch the people on the sports guys sit there and just embarrass us. Like, hey, yeah, man, they're not doing anything. I don't know if they want to win. Like, it sucks to be a fan right now.
My 20-year-old cousin that doesn't watch football and she lives in Seattle would probably realize, like, you're down by 20 points and you only got about 4 minutes left. Maybe you should, pick it up a little bit, guys.
Listen, I really pray Chris Garrett listens to this, and here's our call, man. Chris Garrett, Stephen Ross. I hope he hears us. Stephen, if we see Tua and McDaniels next year, no gear is getting bought. No tickets are getting bought. No, nothing. I'm literally on the point to going to take my tag to Florida Division Highway and trading it in. I'll go get a Heat or a Marlin tag. I'm done.
Quick question. I was going to say, would you get a Panthers one?
I don't mind. I'll even go down there to Sawgrass to go watch them play because I'm done.
They're the only team that won for us tonight, too. So, man, it's frustrating. I know. 305-567-0560, 1043 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo.
What's up, big dog?
Big dog, you know what time it is. So first and foremost, I got 2 words for you.
Uh-oh.
I got 2 words.
I'm ready.
Brian Flores knew what it was with Tua, and none of y'all wanted to hear that. Oh, Brian's such a bad guy. Oh, Brian, he did this, he did that. Say what you will, but the guy, he was willing to put it all on the line to win. I don't see it from these people. And literally, when Tua was out here talking about, oh, well, we've been 1-6 before, and we turned it up. Bro, they didn't have the heart to do that. They didn't have the coach to do that.
They didn't have the coach that was going to demand the expectations to do that, bro. I knew it was a wrap. And even past all that, people want to get happy about the win streak. Cupcakes, bro.
Yeah.
Those teams, for the exception of the Bills, were cupcakes, and I knew it. And they still almost blew two of those out of the 4 of those games.
I mean, you do look at that. You do look at the streak. Whenever they played anybody good, like the Colts, the Patriots lost. The Bills lost. They beat the Jets. Everybody beats the Jets. They got the Panthers. Chargers beat them again. You lost bad to the Browns. You beat the Falcons, but the Falcons aren't that good. The Ravens whooped you. You whooped the Bills. That was your game of the year. Then the Commanders, the Saints, the Jets, not very good teams. The Steelers, a decent team, took care of business.
All facts. I'm not even gonna lie, all facts. But at the same time, like they lack talent. They're soft mentally.
Yeah.
And all this smoke and mirrors stuff went right out the window when Tyreek Hill got hurt, because Tyreek Hill covered up all of these people's deficiencies. McDaniel was in over his head. Tua's in over his head. Greer was in over his head. And it's almost like in South Florida, right? Like the Miami Dolphins are a very attractive female, and you always wonder, why is this female single? How did I get so lucky? It's because she's crazy. Time and time again, dudes always find out she's crazy, and that's why they always leave her. She'll never find a quality man.
Man, hot women catching scratch on this one, man. For all my hot ladies in Miami, I love you. That's okay, man. Maybe that's part of
But
my
at least,
problem
look,
too.
the hotter you are, the crazier you're allowed to be. You know, they got to win. They got to win.
No, I get it. Look, it is unfair to a fan base to have to suffer through 25 years of not winning a playoff game. And you should luck out and win a playoff game every once a decade, something like that. I told you, it's organization. They've tried to change the general manager. But now we're going to see if there's a new coach and a new quarterback. And after tonight's performance, I can't see how the new general manager is going to say, yeah, that's what we need. We need more of that. So we might be onto something. 305-567-0560, 1043 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? It's Joanne from Miami.
Joanne, how you doing tonight is a real question.
I'm doing good. Listen, I don't think Mike McDaniel is the problem. He is just handicapped with a quarterback that isn't good enough, man. That's the problem, you know? He puts too much pressure on Achane. The offense becomes predictable because teams know now they're just going to run the ball and force Tua to throw the ball.
We've been waiting for this day. Like, when are they going to get the idea that we just run the ball with Achane nonstop? And the Steelers, from the very beginning, you could tell us that you don't have that. You beat us some other way.
Yeah, and they put the pressure on Tua, and Tua showed you what he is. A below average quarterback. He can't move, he can't scramble, he can't what's the word? Improvise. Yeah, he can't he can't do those stuff. And you're not gonna beat decent teams. This whole Tua thing about 2 years ago when he was doing great with Tyreek Hill, we gotta remember all those teams that he beat were garbage. Nearly all of them. So this whole thing, Tua was a mistake the day we drafted him, man. It was a mistake. And we got to draft a quarterback in the first round. I want to keep McDaniel. I think he's a good coach. Just give him a better quarterback that can actually move and has an arm to throw the ball.
I will say this, Joanne, they allowed 4 sacks today, the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if those sacks were totally on the offensive line. Most of them, I have to say most of them were on Tua not getting rid of the ball.
He's got bricks for ankles.
Yeah, I agree, man. Anyways, just draft a quarterback in the first round. They better draft a quarterback.
Question, Dan. Who would you go with?
I don't,
what do you do at this point? Is there a savior? Not even for this year, but for to keep our hopes up for next year. What can they possibly do to keep us locked in?
I'm a big fan of the believing in we have to open up more competition. For so long, they said it. Brian Flores, he knew. And I will make a direct demarcation from when I think Tua went from being what I considered a very good quarterback to what he is now is when he called out Brian Flores and told the world that he was a terrible person. I thought that was bad. I thought that was reaping what you sow, and that things were going to start turning around. Brian Flores stepped away, said, I'm not worried about that. Since then, it's been tough. Maybe Brian Flores did know something, didn't want to draft Tua in the first place. We kind of have that figured out by now. Brian Flores, maybe not a terrible person, and definitely, even if he is, you don't go on the national media and call someone a terrible person. But
I'm expecting a tweet from him saying, "I told you so" at one point or another in life.
I hope not, man. Brian Flores is above all that. But Tua definitely has regressed this year for what reason, I don't know. But our good friend Omar Kelly with the Miami Herald has said for the longest time, one of the things this Dolphins organization needs to do to get rid of their soft attitude and get rid of some of the problems they have is have more open competition. And Tua Tagovailoa, I know you're getting paid $50 million a year, but if competition will light a little fire under you, you know what, and make you a little bit better, I'll be all for it. Still hearing from you, 305-567-0560. Chico City, Dan Day with you. We're going to be back after this on 104.3 FM, WQAM. always try to say it's not one guy's fault or one girl's fault that a team loses. You lose from an amalgamation of things. Tonight, the Dolphins lost from an amalgamation of things, 28-15 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. It wasn't just the cold weather. It wasn't just that the Steelers are good. It's kind of because the organization has been soft over the years. Had to fire Chris Greer. Tua, obviously not good. Threw an interception. Bad decision-making. Doesn't throw it away. Had bad timing. Threw some bad passes. Mike McDaniel doesn't adjust at halftime. Mike Tomlin eats that up. Mike McDaniel seems to get out coached sometimes, but especially with the adjustments. So you put all that together and you lose the game. And we should have known better.
The Dolphins get a Dolphins, Dan.
We should know better. Yeah, I understand, Chico. You were born and raised. You're a Miami guy. Grew up in Little Haiti. So you've been here, done that too many times.
Oh, man.
Look at this. Okay, all in all, you probably agree that pound for pound, the better team was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
And going into the game,
Yes.
they have the home field advantage,
Agreed.
especially with the cold weather.
Yeah.
Who do you think's the better quarterback, Aaron Rodgers or Tua Tagovailoa?
Whoever Tua's playing against.
Aaron Rodgers. Who's the better coach, Mike Tomlin or Mike McDaniel? Obviously, Mike Tomlin. So we should have been realistic at going into this game and saying, probably going to lose something like 28-15.
I feel like we should have started being realistic about maybe 7 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago when the season started. Maybe I'm tainted. Am I wrong? I want to know what they have. Am I the only one that feels this way? Is that hard to believe?
A lot of Dolphins fans are right there with you, Chico City. 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines. 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, it's Chris from Wisconsin. How are you doing?
Ooh, where in Wisconsin, Chris?
It's like near Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. No, I was in Wisconsin for Madison, University of Wisconsin. So
Oh, okay.
I know
Yeah,
the
I'm a
area.
little north of you.
A lot of
where you
Appleton,
are.
a lot of Appleton kids. But go ahead. Let's not talk about that right now. I know it's cold up there. Trust me, the Dolphins know
Yeah,
it's cold up there. Even though they weren't up there, they know it's cold up north. Go ahead.
You know what's amazing is Tua. He is just so bad. This whole team is so bad. I can't get over the way that they looked tonight. Was one of the worst games that I've seen probably this year, besides the Indianapolis Colts game. But I mean, he cannot throw. He cannot move in the pocket. We need to draft a quarterback, a guy who can play in the cold. He's 0-6 in cold weather, 40 degrees or less. And McDaniel, he gets out-coached all the time. It's just amazing to me that this guy, he's terrible. I mean, it's astonishing that what needs to happen is Ross needs to get rid of, just clean house. I mean, I just don't understand it at all.
Dumpster
I really
fire.
don't.
Damn.
Yeah, I really do, because I mean, you have to get a quarterback that can play in the cold. Draft a quarterback like that, and just even Ross said at his statement last year, it's not acceptable. We're going to have a losing record again this year, and it wasn't acceptable last year. It's not acceptable this year. So why not make the major moves that you need to do? You need to get rid of Tua. You need to get rid of McDaniel, and I know you're going to get a new general manager. Hopefully, this general manager is smart. And he just gets his own people in there.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. I understand. Real quick, the Dolphins can still finish with a winning record if they win out these last 3 games. But yeah, it's been rough. It's been a rough go for this team, and you might have thought I was one of them. Once again, I'm delusional. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid that Dolphins fans always do. Like, this is the game, and the reason why is this team has a new identity. They know what they have to do now. Keep it out of Tua's hands. Give it to Devon Achane. Trust in the running game. One of the best running games currently in the NFL. Even the pregame, I heard him talking like the Dolphins, what they do is they run the ball and they control the defensive line of scrimmage. I said, that's how you win in the cold weather. This Dolphins team has figured it out. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play smash mouth football. They're going to get their defensive line going, and they're going to handle business tonight. And lo and behold, they did the exact opposite of that. And at one point, we're down 28-3.
with zero pep in our step, by the way.
Right. With zero awareness, zero adjustments, and zero, as you would say, pep in your step, a little bit of intensity.
And if you're just tuning in, I'm not a negative guy here, okay? I've loved the Dolphins my whole life. I went into tonight, deeply optimistic, not like extrovertedly optimistic because I just don't want to look foolish. But it's just they do it every single time. And I don't want to sound like we're just hating on the Dolphins. It's just hard to find something positive out of today. I want to find something positive out of today.
25 years is 25 years without a playoff win.
Can you point something positive out of today?
Oh, Darren Waller. Darren Waller had himself a nice little game.
Let's applaud him. Let's applaud something good. He deserves at least a moment of applaud because it's just hard. It's hard not to be a negative Nancy here.
305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Go ahead. You're good to go. Hey, I can barely hear you.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Kelly from Virginia.
Kelly, thanks for calling. What's up?
64 and a half years old.
Uh-oh.
Saw a Dolphins game in person in 1971 in the Orange Bowl.
Wow.
On a family trip. The Orange Bowl was a 10-year-old hooked from there. I'm getting to the point where I was below that, brother. Below that. All of these, like Chico, all these other guys, hey, I've been a fan, from this. I've been a fan 54 years.
And at first it was so easy. You had an undefeated season. You had 2 Super Bowls. You must have felt like life was going to be good the rest of the way with the Dolphins.
Ventura was a Dolphin way?
Oh, the early 80s were even better.
Yeah.
I thought they were even better. You talk about the organization. The organization is Steve Ross.
Yeah.
That's the organization. And I would like to know how he plans to sell this team to his fan base if he does not get rid of the coach and the quarterback, contract or no contract. I want to know how he plans to sell that to his season ticket holders. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
This is the thing about Stephen Ross. There's the owners that want to win above all things. There's the owners that want to make money above all things. I think Stephen Ross is caught between the two. I think he wants to win, but he also wants to make money. Therefore, you get a lot of 9 and 8s. You get a lot of 8 and 9 records because, I want to win, but I also want to make money. You're serving 2 gods. You can't serve 2 gods, Stephen Ross.
The NFL, he should know by now, is a bottom line business, and the bottom line is winning. And if you win, you make money. If you lose, as he's going to find out probably this Sunday and next Sunday, you've got a half to 3/4 empty stadium. And if you try to bring back these 2 guys next year, and make no mistake, Mike McDaniel's got a hand in this too. I feel, people, all he knows is he does that. Hey, Mike went and pounded the table to get 2 of that extension.
That is true.
Okay. He went and pounded the table to get that extension for this guy. He's tied at the hip, just like Greer was. If one goes, all 3 have to go. Again, contract or no contract, you cannot do this to your fan base, to your season ticket holders. And you can't, the rest of the team, how are we going to, if you're a player on that team, how are we going to win with this guy? The Steelers did the smart thing. I'm surprised it took somebody this long. Stack the box, load the box, take that away, and make him throw the ball. And that pass, it was intercepted. That thing looked like an overinflated Zeppelin floating through the air out there. I mean, I think the guy's body, a broken hip at his age when he had that Alabama, that's a serious injury.
I understand.
And if you look at it again, he put everything he had into that pass.
Yeah, I know.
He has no torque in his hips at all. It looks like no push coming through his hips. He needs, I'm telling him what to do. He's got to take a long look at himself and say, hey, I know I got a lot of money, but you know what? It may be time for me to just get out. And I think the Dolphins have to explore every avenue possible to get him out of here.
I'm right there with you. Give some back. Give some of that money back.
Yeah, they say there's a sucker born every minute, but there is no sucker in this league that would trade for him, probably even if you offered to pay 3/4 of his salary.
Right, you would have to
There's
take
not.
some type of salary, but no teams. I've got Tyler Shuck over there at New Orleans, and I'm happy with him. I wouldn't trade.
Let me
Tyler.
tell you what, he looked great. He's looked great.
He has looked good.
You know, unfortunately, well, of course, the Dolphins have won enough not to get a. Here we go again, 13th, 14th pick. You know, but the quarterback class doesn't look that good. But do not wait to the 7th round. Do not wait to the 7th round to pick a quarterback.
No.
Do it in the 2nd round. If somebody's there, take them. You keep drafting until you find one.
Yeah, that's what Green Bay Packers do. Every draft, they draft a quarterback because eventually they'll find one.
Now, granted, he was awful tonight, but Anthony Weaver has got to take some responsibility tonight too. His defense, he got his ass out coached by a country mile tonight. He kept blitzing Rodgers in the 3rd quarter, and Rodgers cut his defense to shreds.
You bring up 2 very good points, though. I do like this, that Mike McDaniel, if you're saying, well, whoa, it's Tua, it's not me. He did go to bat for Tua. And when you go to bat for Tua and you want him to get paid, you're tied to him. So, yes, Mike McDaniel does not skate on that. Also, I don't like, but I kind of like the idea of the story arc of your fandom with the Dolphins. 71, you win a Super Bowl undefeated team. You win a Super Bowl. You have Dan Marino, Don Shula. You're feeling great. Mark Duper. And you've now, from that point, gotten to this point with Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel, and those guys getting whooped on Monday Night Football by the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is quite the story arc. In 25 years without winning a playoff game and not really making the playoffs that much in between those 25 years. 305-567-0560. Going to take a deep breath, come back, take some more of your calls here on 104.3 FM WQAM, Miami Sports Leader. Following the Dolphins' 28-15 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers, no one is cutting Tua Tagovailoa any slack. None of the phone callers, nobody watching and chiming in on the YouTube and Twitch. All you have to do is go to 104.3 FM WQAM or 104.3 WQAM, and you'll find us live. Not the nicest of things, but then again, Tua didn't have the nicest of game. Although statistically, if you didn't watch the game, you'd say 22 for 28, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 4 sacks. He had a 113 passer rating. That did not tell the story when we were down 28-3 to the Pittsburgh Steelers, then tried to mount a lackadaisical comeback with not a big sense of urgency. So the YouTubers and Twitch are jumping in. They're saying all types of crazy stuff like we do need to draft a quarterback next year. Also that there's what the crappy Dolphins beat a young Canes team, but not by much. We'll say about that. And a lot of people think we need to go offensive line. And then Keith Fowler 5533 says the curse of Richie Incognito.
I knew we needed a curse. I knew there was I've been telling Dan all night. I feel like the old school Red Sox. I feel like the old school Cubs. There's got to be a curse somewhere. What did we miss? What did we miss? Where did we miss that moment where the Dolphins were cursed and nobody really noticed? And or is it the incognito curse?
305-567-0560. Let's go to Ebad. Ebad, how are things?
Yo, my man, what's up?
Just trying to get some wins, man. I just want to win.
Man, we're not getting wins with this freaking coach. First of all, I know Tua sucks. I've been his biggest supporter since he was drafted here. I always supported him. This like 5-6 years, and I'm done with this guy, and I'm done with this coach. To be honest, let's let the new regime come in. We can't get rid of Tua for next year, but let the new regime take care of that. They might use him as a Kirk Cousins. Just set him on the bench, let him get his money, whatever, and then I'm down for that. This guy is not a good coach. He's getting out coached in every game since he's been here. I'm sorry to say that, but yeah, it's time to move on and start a new. It's been 20 years, 25 years, man. Now I don't even remember Marino's days, but since I've been growing older, it's just been the same cycle, man. Every 5-6 years, we're going through this repetitively. We got to do it again, man. I'm sorry, but let's go in for another ride.
You and I have been doing this for a long time, and we keep saying this. Mike McDaniel, there's just glaring times where he's out coached. Remember that Christmas Day game against Green Bay? Green Bay's receiver didn't catch the pass, but he didn't challenge it because he didn't feel the need to challenge it. Remember against Buffalo, as we were driving in that playoff game with Skylar Thompson, we can try to win the game. The right personnel wasn't in the right place and ready to go, and the play didn't go in, so we got a delay of game on a 4th down. And then this year, he doesn't make any adjustments, it seems like, or he gets out adjusted. I don't know.
I agree with that. And then like every primetime game, man, it's just the same thing over and over for the last 3 years. Every time you play a good team, you get embarrassed. Your national media, the whole world is watching, the whole country is watching, and you can't even put up a fight, man. Like, come on, man, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, it really kind of was embarrassing to hear Joe Buck and Troy Aikman kind of be like, what is this team doing? Why aren't they having more urgency? Like, do they realize how much they're down by? And that's on the coach.
The definition of defeated is what they looked like at that point already. They were like just going through the motions, pretend that they wanted to win. Why not just step out of bounds? You're 3 inches away from stepping out of bounds right there. You got a decent little drive going, get some points up. So at least when they look at the scoreboard, it's not embarrassing.
Get some momentum, but no. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, go ahead.
What's up?
Yay, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm hurting a little bit right now, but at least I'm not in 8-degree weather like people in Pittsburgh.
Hey, I don't know if I'm on. This is Tony from Pembroke Pines, Florida.
Go ahead, Tony.
You're on, big dog.
What's up? How you doing, Dan?
I told you, man, rough, but at least I'm not in freezing weather, so I'm okay.
Hey, I tell you, man, the only shot we got, man, is, I don't know, I'm hearing Joe Burrow's not very happy in Cincinnati. You know, maybe in 2 years we can get him over here.
I like that.
Look, if Joe Burrow stays healthy, he is elite. Now, once again,
well,
The health
Well,
is
he's
the
saying
issue.
he's not going to play the rest of the season for the Bengals.
Also, do we have the
That's what I heard.
Benjamins? Do we have the Benjamins to bring in, Burrows?
Well, they wouldn't trade for Tua.
Couple of years. All you have to do is say, "Hey, I want to get traded."
Hey, so your
all it
quarterback
takes.
wants out of Cincinnati, and our quarterback, we want him out here. Could we just do a straight up trade, Joe Burrow for Tua?
Burrow, if you're listening, it's warm over here. It's real warm.
No,
I'm joking.
No, you had a chance to leave. You had a chance to leave Tua there for some team to try to pick him up and see what they give you for him. And they went ahead and gave him that $250 million. Now he's laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there, man. Yeah, quarterback situation's been tough here in South Florida, especially today. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead.
So then at this point, I wouldn't even be upset if the Dolphins pulled an Indianapolis here, right? And brought in somebody out of nowhere just to show that they're trying. While you're at it, look, bring Cam Newton. Bring anybody.
A lot of people are saying Quinn Ewers. See what you got. Maybe he's got some magic. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. Hello. All right, we'll go back to phone lines. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. Hello.
Hello, this is Omar. You there?
Yeah, Omar, how are things?
Hey, man. Lifelong guy here, loyal Dolphin. I used to watch Bob Greasy, David Woodley, Dan Marino. Everything was great until about 25 years ago when Marino retired. If we get rid of the coach, which I want to get rid of, who do we got out there that's available as a GM? You have to bring in a good GM, and you let the GM bring in the other guys. But who's out there? Who do you know of, you know?
I have not really been on the GM hunt very much, so I would not be able to give you an answer that I would think would be educated. But all you have to hope is that this organization, which has not done a good job of it in the past, is going to do their due diligence and get a guy, a girl, or a collective that could be an efficient GM and a good GM.
And I love your idea. Let Ewers start. Like, leave Tua on the bench because he's playing like trash. He's not able to move. He can't throw the ball away when he's out of the pocket, and he's clearly going to lose yards. Just throw the ball away. I don't understand why he can't throw the ball away.
Yeah, that's the thing that Tua's upset me this year, is not just because he's physically not been very good, not just because he can't run very good. He's also digressed in decision-making and doing simple things like throwing the ball away, getting the plays in on time, getting the team lined up on time. Those are major issues.
Dan, I got a couple guys here that could potential future GMs. You got Ian Cunningham. He's the general manager of Chicago Bears. You got Ryan Cowden, the VP player personnel for the Patriots, previously on the Titans, is a strong candidate. I mean, there's guys out there.
There are guys out there.
There's guys out there. Ed Dodds, right now, he's got his hands full in Indianapolis, right?
305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ken, calling from Boca.
Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah. Wait, first and foremost, is Vlad with you?
No, Vlad was here earlier doing some other things, but he's usually on home games and he's in the locker room. So that's where he's not here tonight.
No worries. But I was going to say, to shout out my boy Vlad, to quote Vlad, streets need a body. Am I right?
Vlad, yeah, Vlad's listening right now. I know that, and watching on YouTube and Twitch. Vlad would say, yes, the streets need a body. They've gotten one in Chris Greer, but are there more bodies that the streets need is the question.
Dude, at this point, I'm going to say it like this. McDaniel, to me, dude's in over his head. I feel like he constantly spazzes out like game in these pressure situations where, you know, he basically he's always doing something stupid, whether it's the game against the Commanders where he decided to go for it on 4th and 1 with less than a minute left and they have no timeouts. And backfired in his face. The only if they would have lost that game, he's probably fired on the spot. He probably isn't even here right now. They lucked out because the Commanders are that bad. And even past that, they almost lost again to the Saints the week before that. And I knew it. Like, with this 5-game win streak, everybody's gotten all excited, whatever. Dude, it's a what's that movie? Donnie Brasco? It's a fugazi. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ken, you see a situation, new general manager walks in and says, you know, hold up. If I call your name, come stand over here. Terrell Dotson, Jordan Brooks, Patrick Paul. The rest of you can go home.
A-Chain. Don't forget A-Chain. A-Chain
Oh,
gets a pass.
I'm sorry. Hold up. We got to talk to you about your money first. But yeah, you stay here.
No, in all seriousness though, I'm gonna be real with you. You're right. Like I said, I do like what the new GM, the interim GM is talking about right
Yeah.
now. But at the same time, it's almost like this is the same problem we've had the last 30 years. You have the same people cooking basically the same recipes and expecting a different result. You know what I mean? Oh, that's just my brother. I don't, I don't act like he does. You guys are raised by the same mother and the same father.
Right.
You guys are gonna do the same thing basically. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Yeah, the culture is the same. The organization is the same. You're absolutely right. We want to change all these other things, but we don't change the core of what I think the problem is. And that is this team has a soft personality and attitude. Hence why they go up and play a team like Pittsburgh Steelers. It's even in their names. Steelers, steel. They're tough. They're strong. Their coach is a man. And they just outmanned us tonight. Weather or no weather involved. I don't think the weather would have had that much of a difference on the game tonight.
Dan, I was at the game where Tyreek Hill got hurt, right? I was there. I was 3 seats up. I got lucky. I got some tickets to go to this game. And I had never seen a man happier to be that hurt in my life. And that was my sign. That was my time to know that nothing has changed behind closed doors.
305-567-0560. We're going to hear from Tua. We're going to hear from Mike and Daniel. Want to hear from you in the next segment. One more segment of phone calls. Chico City, Dan Day. This is Game Day Uncensored Postgame on 104.3 FM, WQAM. The narrative has not changed for the Miami Dolphins. They can't beat teams when it's below freezing. They can't beat playoff teams unless it's the Buffalo Bills earlier this year. They don't really win in prime time, and Tua Tagovailoa has tough times, cold weather, and against good teams, and Mike McDaniel can't make adjustments. So the narrative remains the same. Oh, yeah, by the way, in case you forgot, this will be the 25th year now officially that the Dolphins do not win a playoff game because they can't make it to the playoffs. They have been mathematically eliminated. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
My name is Patrick.
Hey, Patrick, what's on your mind?
From Syracuse, New York.
What was that?
From Syracuse, New York.
Okay, yeah, Patrick, what's going on in Syracuse? What you got on your mind?
It's cold. It's
really cold. You know it.
Like Pittsburgh. But come on, man. I mean, they play good in the first half, second half. They, a lot of it has to do with Tua. I mean, the interception. Come on, who is he throwing it to? Number one, and then he walks off the field with a smile, bro.
Not good.
Come on.
We got owned on those fourth down conversions too. By the way, if you want to pile on the defense a little bit, they went 3 for 3 on fourth down conversions.
Yeah, but like the one play where Tua tried to slide and then they grabbed his helmet. Like, come on, where's the flag on that? If that was Jason Allen, he would have got a flag. I mean, even before the play happened.
Hey, Patrick, you might not know this, but Tua's not Josh Allen.
No, I know. Obviously, he sucks.
To put it bluntly, thank you.
I mean, but you know what I'm saying,
right?
I mean,
I understand. We didn't get many breaks tonight, and
he had him by his helmet.
He did grab him underneath the helmet.
I mean, it was a terrible call.
And then the Jordan Brooks, whatever they want to call him for taunting, that was a terrible call after he made a great play.
It was a bogus call. I mean, you got to give our props to our defense. Our defense played great tonight. I mean, I'm going to say that because, I mean, they were on the field the whole game.
Yeah.
What did they do in the second half on offense?
Well, look. In the third quarter, we've talked about this. 2 3-and-outs and negative 20 yards from our offense. How do you expect the defense to hold up?
And they stopped running the ball.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's just a lot. I know it's frustrating.
If you take away some of those bogus calls, I don't think it makes a difference in the game.
Yeah. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Curry, North Carolina.
Go ahead, Curry.
Hey, here's where I heard you guys talking about a curse. Here's where the curse started. The day we let Jimmy Johnson come in and run Don Shula and Dan Marino out of town. That's where the curse started. But now, if we'd have listened to Flores and let him handle Tua like he handled Josh Rosen, I don't think we'd be in this bad contract. Do you?
Curry, I have a very good friend over at the Miami Herald by the name of Omar Kelly who says when Brian Flores was drafting in 2020, his thought was to not draft Tua Tagovailoa, instead get an offensive lineman high with the pick, and then later in the first round, take Jordan Love. How would that have worked out for the Miami Dolphins?
Probably would have worked out a heck of a lot better. And I agree with something else Omar says. He says there need to be an open competition.
Yes.
Don't you think Tua played a lot better when Fitzpatrick was taking his job from him? Don't you think he was a little more hungry for that job?
Competition's healthy.
This has been Tua's worst year. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh my, by far. I like the broke Tua when he didn't before he got his money. You know, I want to say
Jordan, right? You said Jordan from North Carolina.
Curry.
You got the voice of a man who knows how to barbecue. You know how to cook. You got the. Well, something tells me you got a smoker in your living room.
It's not in the living room, man.
That was right. So just had to ask.
He's out there in the living room. Out there in Carolina making it happen. Well, at least we can smile a little bit after that. Tough times for Tua Tagovailoa. We're here from him in the next segment, plus give away our game balls. This is Game Day Uncensored postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM. Dan Day in Chico City with you. It's time for us to now hand out our game balls following a very disappointing Dolphins loss. Don't blame the weather. 28-15 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh just the better team all around tonight, from the players to the coaches to just everything. So let's get to it. Chico, I'm going to ask you first for our offensive player of the game, which is sponsored by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. Chico, who is your offensive player of the game, sponsored by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall?
Devon HN.
Devon HN has carried this team all year long, although he did not have a great running game, at least by his standards, on a substandard night where it was obvious the Pittsburgh Steelers made it a number one priority to slow down Devon HN. He still had 12 carries for 60 yards, a long of 15, an average of 5. That's a pretty good night for an average running back. Still pretty good overall. And he led the team in receiving yards. 6 receptions, 67 yards, a long of 24. For my offensive player of the night, this is one that is kind of tough and rough, and there's not a lot of choices out there. We're going to go with one Greg Dulcich. How about this? Let's give a combination, because we're going to need to combine a little bit here because there wasn't a lot. The tight ends, Julian Hill and Greg Dulcich. Julian Hill got that first big catch of the game for 20 yards, and you thought, maybe Mike McDaniel and these guys have schemed something up. Julian Hill then finished with 25 total yards of receiving, and Greg Dulcich did have 2 receptions, 46 yards in the big 29-yard catch. So we're going to go with that. Now, let's get to our player of the game, which is sponsored by JM Lexus. JM Lexus has the best team in the business, a 4.8 Google rating with over 22,000 reviews and counting. JM Lexus, West Sample Road, Moorgate, Chico City. Who's your player of the game?
The player of the game here are the Miami Dolphins fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys that keep coming, showing up every year, calling us every game, keeping your hearts in the game. I know we were a little rough on Tua, a little rough on Mike McDaniels, but it's because it's tough love. And we love the Dolphins that much, and we keep putting up with this. So the player of the game is the city of Miami, and anybody who's proud to wear that teal jersey in any other state without putting a paper bag over the head. You, my friend, are the player of the game.
You know how I feel about ride or die. I believe in the ride or die. I don't believe there's a curse. I believe that your team will win, and trust me, right now it hurts, but I, in my heart of hearts, believe if you live long enough, you will see the Dolphins win another Super Bowl. And don't abandon them, because when you win that Super Bowl, it's going to be that much better because you rode through the thick and thin and you are at the top of the mountain. One day it's going to come, and that day you will feel great. And if you are one of those Dolphins fans, which Chico is giving his player of the game to, you are a true fan. I definitely respect you, and I'm right there with you. You're not alone, I guess,
If
Chico.
the Dolphins are listening as well, I love you. I do. I've said a lot of rough stuff today, but
We're just honest.
I love my Miami Dolphins franchise. I grew up wearing this teal and orange. I grew up screaming Marino, loving Pro Player Stadium, Joe Robbie. And that's why I'm so passionate about this loss tonight, the loss last year, the loss 20 years ago, and the ones we're probably going to have for the next 10 years, because it hurts. But I'm going to be riding and swimming right next to this team.
That's the way you got to go right there. And my player of the game, it's a guy that I really like, a guy that I think the world of, a guy that I followed throughout his career, and I'm just so proud of him and so happy to have him on this team. One, Darren Waller. Darren Waller been through, speaking of thick and thin, he's back from the injury, and the man just finds pay dirt. 7 receptions, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Darren Waller. He's going to be my player of the game. And last but not least, the drive of the game, sponsored by the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales event in December to remember. Get great deals now at your Lexus dealers. Learn more at Lexus.com. Going to go to that last touchdown of Darren Waller. Interesting. I'm on the Finsider, and this is how they explained it. This is why the drive, although it was good with a touchdown, the reason that it was the drive of the game, and I'm quoting, Miami continued to run the clock while trying to make a comeback, letting the time waste away despite moving the ball for the score, getting the ball back with 7:23 remaining. They play 9 plays, take 4:51 off the clock. Then Waller caught his second touchdown of the night, 13-yard in the back of the end zone. And then they close things out with a headline that goes, Miami runs out of time in horrible time management ending.
How do you defend that? It was
There
so
is no-
blatantly obvious.
It was very blatantly obvious that there was not very good time management. The guy who's helping keep the time, not Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa. No one's come to Tua's defense today after that game. Not his best day, at least not his best day as a game. He had pretty good statistics. Tua Tagovailoa, though, asked about the struggles after the game.
Yeah, it is tough. We got to play better ball if we want to win games against good teams. Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing we didn't get the outcome we wanted to, and everything that goes on with the playoffs. But when you start the season the way we did, we made it hard on ourselves. So we just got to come in on a Wednesday, and we got to get back to work. Really, at the end of the day, it's about pride that you have for yourself, your last name on your back. Who you are as a husband, who you are as a father, as a son, as a teammate, all of that. So we'll see come on Wednesday.
Offensively, you struggled in the first half. Couldn't get much done.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple sacks in there, opportunities missed. What did you see, and what led to that from what they were doing to you?
There were just some things offensively that we were doing that were messing ourselves up, really. Basically every aspect, from my communication to the guys, with them getting in the huddle, calling the plays, getting out, guys knowing where to go with their alignments. It's all of that.
So besides being despondent sounding like, I don't know how much longer Tua has where he can come up and say the same thing. We got to get back to work. Got to chop wood. We put ourselves in a bad position, losing early in the season. That can only be said so many times.
Sounds like he lost his joy to me.
You can only say it so many times, Tua, and your play needs to get better. I hate to say it. Your attitude needs to get better, what you did earlier this season with calling people out that didn't show up. Everything needs to get better. Coaching, quarterback, defense is good, but it still needs to get better all around, or else you're going to continue to find yourself on the outside looking in for yet another 25th year of not winning a playoff game for the Miami Dolphins.
I'll tell you what I do like about Tua, though. He's got some nice veneers. He smiled into the camera all night, no matter how bad we were losing. That's pretty much the only positive thing.
That's not going to make me feel better tonight as I'm drinking beer, thinking back on this Dolphins game. And if you're a Dolphins fan, it's tough, but we're going to try to do it again next week. Cincinnati. Look, Cincinnati's quarterback might not want to be in Cincinnati. He might want to get out of there. We're kind of dealing with a different situation where this city might not want this quarterback Tua in here very much. We want him out of here. Should be very interesting. Of course, there's storylines galore. Both those guys drafted in the same class. We shall see what that game will look like as both teams are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Once again, final score tonight: Pittsburgh defeats Miami Dolphins 28-15 in the cold of the Steel City. Back again next week, 1 o'clock, pregame, postgame. We got it all as the Miami Dolphins look to get a win against the Cincinnati Bengals. For Chico City, at Chico City _, correct?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, Dan.
I'm glad you came by, man. It was good to have you here. I am Dan Day. This has been Game Day Uncensored Postgame on 104.3 FM, WQAM.